Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to Python application programming classes. In today's session, we are going to discuss some of the programs on a list, dictionaries, tuples, and regular expressions. In previous videos, I have discussed the concepts related to these. Study the concept thoroughly so that you will understand the programs that I am going to discuss in this session. Towards the first program, let's see the title of the program that I am going to discuss now. The first program that I discuss is write a Python program to read all the lines in a file accepted from the user and print all email addresses contained in it. Assume the email addresses contains only non-white space characters. See, before writing any program, first and foremost is you are supposed to read the program statement thoroughly and understand what you are supposed to do. If you don't understand the program statement thoroughly, you cannot write the program properly. Because of that, say understanding, if you understand the program statement thoroughly, 50% of the work is done. Because most of the students will fail to understand the program statement itself. Here, say what the program statement tells. Write a Python program to read all the lines in a file accepted from the user. The meaning is you are supposed to read a file name from the user, and from that file name, say read all the lines. And after reading all the lines, what's supposed to happen is and print all email addresses contained in it. Read all the lines, and if any email address is there in those lines, you are supposed to print. Okay, say but say in printing email address, we should assume that the email address contains only non-white space characters, means no spaces between the email address. So this is the program statement. So and we are supposed to implement this program using Python. So let's start the implementation of this program in terminal, in Linux terminal. So as you know, I'm going to use VI editor. VI, so I call the first name the program as a prog1.py. The title of the program file as prog1.py. You can give any valid name. So here I am giving prog1.py. Now what is the program? The program is to write read a file accepted from the user and print the email addresses, right? So now we are going to use regular expressions here. Initially I am going to import regular expression by writing a statement import re, which means import regular expression, and I'll read the file name from the user. F name is equal to say input, enter the name of file, yes. So once the name is read, say we can say do one thing. Say we can check for the validity of this, means whether that name exists or not. Say like inside the try block, I'm going to open it, because if open will fail, say we'll end up with error. Say to handle that, say let me write say open f name, means if if open function will give any error, that can be handled using except block. And let me print here a statement telling that error in opening a file. Okay, some error in opening a file. Okay, and if the file is not opened, say we cannot continue. Because of that, just exit from the program. what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to read a file. Okay, to read a file, say we need to open, and we have opened a file in a read mode. By default, when we say call a open function, the file will be opened in a read mode. Okay, so and I'm just checking so whether the file has opened properly or not using a try and except block. If the file is not opened, then we are going to quit the program, so means we don't continue. Now important thing is I should read a line by line from that file. For this purpose, say we are going to use a for loop for line in f hand, for line in f hand. Yes, once I read a line, means for every line in f hand, say what we are supposed to do is first I am going to strip that line. Means if there are more than one spaces say inside the line, say it will going to strip. So that can be done using line dot a method called rstrip, say which will going to remove more than one spaces. And now here, say because I want to extract a email address, let me use a say variable as a email is equal to re dot, say let me use a method called find all. So what I am supposed to find, okay, so that I should write here. Remember, I want to find a email address that contains a non-white space characters. Means here I am going to write, say it should contain a non-white space character. Means see non-white space character means say it is /s. It's a non-white space character, but before that say there should be only say non-white space character means a /s, and then plus the meaning is one or more non-white space character followed by at, then later one or more non-white space character. So this is what we are interested in. The email address is something like this. Okay, say it contains one or more, say /s indicates say non-white space character, plus indicates one or more, /s plus indicates one or more non-white space character, followed by at, then later followed by one or more say non-white space character. Now say this has to be, this string has to be found in this line. The first argument is a string, means the expression say which we are interested in, and the second one is where it should be found. It should be found in a line. Okay, say if the search means if the find is successful, then email will contain a email address, means this particular expression. And I am going to check whether say if length of email means if there is any email extracted, I'll just check it using length of. If length of email is greater than 0, then only you print it. Okay, then print email. Okay, says this will be repeated. Say if any emails are if any strings are there that will going to match this expression, that will be extracted and printed here. This will be repeated for all the lines in a file, and once all the lines are over, we can close the file by using a method called fclose, f and dot close. Right, so this is a very simple program to read a file and extract email addresses from it. Okay, let us see how this program will give the result. So executing this using Python 3 interpreter, the command Python 3 is going to call the Python 3 interpreter, and this is the file name. Right, so enter the name of the file. So here the name of the file I'll give it as a mbox -short.txt. This is the file name which is there in this home directory. Now we can see it has extracted email addresses. Here you can see source at collab dot means some project.org, say here, say something at, so means it everything is something like a email only. Okay, but remember, as per the program statement, he has told only non-white space character. He has not told, say, whether the email should contain only the alphabets and digits. Nothing has been told about that. If at all, say that, like say for example, if the email address should contain only the alphabets or digits, then what we can do is, say we can a little bit change our program as per the program statement. Say what the program statement tells is, the email address, assume that the email address contains non-white space character. But if along with that, if one more sentence is there, like the email address should contain only the, say, characters and digits, then what we can do is, we can change this program such that here, say anyhow, say this will contain a non-white space character, but before that it should be, means the, let us consider the first character of that is alphabet or digit. Okay, or say alphabet only, may not be digit. Let us consider this, and even the last also let us consider it is alphabet or digit. Okay, in that case, A to Z, let us consider here digits are allowed at the end. In that case, here in previously it has even extracted the email address with, look at this, less than and greater than symbol, and even here semicolon. But now if we execute our program, same file name I will give, mbox short.txt. now you can see, so there are no any other special characters other than characters and digits, right? And for your information, I can show you the mbox file. This is the mbox file which has been downloaded from internet. Even you can also download it, right? This is the file I have considered. A very simple program. Hope you have understood it. This is the program that we had written. Okay, say here Python program to read all the lines from a file accepted from the user and print all email addresses contained in it. So we open the file, then we check it for any error in opening a file. If it's there, we'll exit, otherwise we'll continue. For line, say for a line, say what we are going to do, we are going to remove extra white spaces, and later this is the, say, regular expression that we have used. Here only thing is, I have included 0 to 9 means a digit at the beginning, but when I have executed the program, I included these digits at the end. Means the email address can contain digits, alphabets at before the at, and it should contain only, say, alphabets after the at symbol. So that's the meaning of this regular expression. You can change however you wish, but remember, so as per this, assume email address contains only non-white space characters, means except white space characters, except white space, it can contain anything. That's the meaning, but you can add the extra things stating that it should contain only, say, alphabets and digits. And if the email is extracted from that line, we'll check for a line, means if that say email the length of email is greater than 0, we'll print it. So this will be repeated for all the lines in a file. Once all lines are over, we can close the file. This is one of the simple program. With this, we'll continue to the second program. So let's see, implement a Python program using lists to store and display the average of n integers accepted from the user. So this is very simple program. Try to understand. We are supposed to write a Python program using list. So that list, what we are supposed to do in that program is we are supposed to store and display the average of n numbers. Means, so ask the user to enter n numbers, n integers. Once the user will enter n integers, we are supposed to store them in a list and later we'll display the average of n integers. Okay, so a very simple program. So let us execute this. I'll call this as a file as a prog2.py, right. So this is Python program to read n integers from user and display the average. It's in short I wrote. And so the simple program, once again this is a simple program. So what we do here in this program, first and foremost I should read n integers. I'll ask the user to enter the value of n, because how many integers I don't know. He has given n integers. So because of that I'm going to ask the user, say input, enter the value of n. Directly I'll ask value of n, say nothing but number of integers. So you can even tell that number of integers, value of n, right. Because that value by default will be read as a string, say it's our responsibility to convert that to a integer, right. Now, so once n is read, we are supposed to read n number of integers. Before reading n number of integers, I am going to create a list whose name is like num list. Num list is equal to a empty list can be created using a function called list. This will going to create a empty list whose name is num list. Now I will tell the user to enter %d integers, and that is %n. Okay, %d, the in place of %d, say n value will be printed, right. Means if n is equal to 5, enter 5 integers. So user has to enter 5 integers, right. Now it is we are supposed to read those 5 integers. Okay, say for some I or num, whatever we can take, say I in a range of, say for example 0 to n, num is equal to whatever the user will enter. So because it's a num of average of integers, what I do, say I am going to convert the read number to an integer. Say input, just I'll ask the user to enter integers. Say I have told the user to enter these many integers. As the user will go on enter, I'll read that and convert it to integer and store that in num. And this let us append to num list dot append. So there is a method called append in a list. Okay, num list dot append this to num list. Initially that num list will be empty. So once the number is read, so it will be converted to integer and that will be appended to num list. This procedure will continue for all the numbers. Means if n is equal to 5 for all 5 numbers, so we will read the that number, convert to integer and append to this list. So once all numbers are read, so it is very simple to find the average. So I will take a argument as evg, means sorry, the variable as avg. Avg is equal to, say it's very simple to find the sum, because average is equal to sum divided by number of elements. So simple to find the sum. because there is a function called a sum that can be used on list. Sum of a num list, we'll get sum of all the elements stored in a list, okay, so divided by n. Now so we'll print that, print average of %d numbers entered by a user is equal to, so let us write it as a say percent, because it's average %f. Then now here of first one is n and the second one is avg. Okay, so let us see, let us execute this program and see the output. Python 3 interpreter, enter the number of elements, let us consider 5, enter 5 integers, 4 5, first 4, then 6 7, let us consider say 5, then 3. So average of 5 numbers entered by user is 5. If we see, this is 10, this is 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, if at all say once again I'll just say execute. Before that, let us consider, if you want after the decimal point, if you want only 2 digits, that can be accommodated. Say we need to just write this format specifier something like 0.2f, so that after decimal digit we'll get only, after decimal point we'll get only 2 digits. Okay, so once again I'll execute, this time 6 1 7 8 34 7, then say 12, average of 6 numbers entered by user is, so you can calculate the average sum and divided by number of elements, you will get 11.67. okay, so a very simple program. So you can see here, so what we have done, as per the program, I have asked the user to enter a value of n, I have read and converted to integer, and later I have declared a simple means a empty list whose name is num list. Later I asked the user to enter those many numbers, and for every numbers means I should read say n numbers, because of that I have started from say 0 to n. Say remember, it doesn't go to n, it will stop at n minus 1, means so if it is 5, 0 to 4 is nothing but 5 itself. Okay, so for every number that will be entered by the user, I am going to read it and convert to integer and append to the num list. Later using the sum function we will find the sum, and divided by number of elements is nothing but average. We are going to print that average. A simple program, right? With this we will move on to the next program, so means that's the third program. So you can see here, so this is the program that we have discussed. Okay, so now say I have discussed this, we will go to the next program, program 3. Write a Python program to search for lines that starts with the word from and a character followed by 2-digit number between 00 and 99 by colon. Print the number if it is greater than 0. Assume any input file. So try to understand the program statement. We are supposed to write a Python program, so that will going to search for a line that will start with from. The line should starts with from, later followed by a character, followed by a character means from, later some character, then later by 2-digit number, that is so after from one character, then a 2-digit number like say 00 to 99, any 2-digit number will be there. Afterwards there should be colon. It should search for such a line, and if that line is found, say it should extract the number, and if the number is greater than 0, then print the number. And for that purpose we can assume any input file, means we may ask the user to enter the file, or otherwise even we can directly assume the file direct in the program itself, right? So let us write this program. Now say the name of the program file, I'll give it as a prog3. A simple program will be written. Say what we do here, say in this program, initially we'll read a file name, okay, from the user. So instead of assuming any file, we'll read the file from the user, and later say we are going to search for a line that will start with from and contains a character and followed by digits and then colon. Okay, I will search for that line, and from that we are going to extract only the number, and if it is greater than 0, we'll print it. Very simple. Say initially, say what I do, the Python program, we are going to write a Python program to search for a line and search for a line that begins, in short I write, that begins with from and extract. In simple I am writing extract 2-digit number, right? Okay, say here, because say I am going to use a regular expression to match the expression, means to match the string, let us import re, import regular expression. Okay, now say because the file has to be opened, try, I'll ask the user to enter the file name. Otherwise we can directly, even because he has told to assume any file, I can even directly open that file. Say like f and is equal to open any file can be assumed, means I'll assume some file name. The file name is fname only. fname.txt is the file name. Or else better is I'll just ask the user, that's still better, fname is equal to input, enter the file name. Even we can assume that directly. Now f and is equal to fname. Say by default it will going to open, it will going to open in a read mode, and now here except if any errors are there, print error in opening a file, right? Then quit means exit. If the file is not opened, you exit. Now I am going to read every line. For line in f and, for every line in f and, so we'll read the line and strip it using a function called rstrip line dot rstrip. You know what we do, why we use this? We use rstrip to remove more than one spaces, right? And later say here I should extract some number, say like num is equal to, what I do, re dot find all. Find all is a method in a regular expression. Find all, remember I should find for a line that starts with from. For writing starts with, we should use a, we are going to use a character, nothing but a cap, then it should starts with from, right? Say not this from, I think say in a expression it was in a program statement it was something like a from here. Okay, from, then followed by character. Okay, say 0 or more characters, say 1 or 1 characters. Let me write a character here followed by a character, any character. Okay, and later, say look at this, I am going to write, say what it should contain is, it should contain letter 0 to 9 one digit and 0 to 9 another digit. It should contain 2 digits followed by colon. This I should search, right, and in this line, and if it is found, say we are going to print. Say first I will just check if num is greater than, means if length of num, if let me write a length of num is greater than 0, means if it has extracted, then only I will print num. Remember here, say first I am going to, this is not the complete program, so I have made some mistake here. I'll execute this and later tell you how it should be corrected. Okay, so I am searching for, say a line which starts with from followed by a character, then say 2 digit number, then what is that, colon. Okay, so let us see. Okay, at the end, so let me close the file. It is f and dot close. Let me execute this. Python 3, same mbox I will use, mbox hyphen short dot txt, error in opening file, whether it is there or not. It's there, mbox f and is equal to open. Oh, here I have not given a proper f name, right. mbox hyphen short dot txt. You can see, before that I will show you that mbox file. Here whether see it contains the required file or not, means required line or not. Here you can see from colon and then a space. Here there is a space. Okay, but it is email address. No, I want some digits there. It doesn't contain anything. Let's see whether it contains. No, it doesn't contain, I think. Okay, let me see first. Here important thing is it has searched some lines. Say first I will show you that mbox hyphen short dot txt, it has searched because it, see look at this, from is there, then some 1 or more characters are there, and followed by, say here, say 2 digit number and then colon. It has searched for this. Okay, so and even one more file might be there, file, no, here it's not there. Anyhow, say our program, our file, our program is to, means program statement is to search for the line, that starts with from and a character followed by 2 digit number, then number between 00 and 99, then colon. Okay, print the number that is greater than means if it is greater than 0, print the number. Here it has printed everything, instead of just a number it has printed everything. And if we want to just extract the number from that, what we can do is, so we are interested only to print this, only 2 digit number. whatever we are interested to extract, that should be enclosed within a parenthesis, so that it will search for this format and extract only this number. Let us see here. Mbox hyphen short dot txt. Sorry, I have typed not properly. Mbox hyphen short dot txt. Yes, it has extracted only the 2 digits numbers. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all of you. It's a very simple program. So we'll ask the user to enter the file name, otherwise you can directly even open the file name file by giving the name directly here, and check for proper opening of the file. If any errors are there, exit. For every line in that file, means remove more than one spaces using rstrip. Then find. So this is correct indicates starting, means the line should starts with from. That's the meaning of this. Okay, so later say a space means one or more character should be there here. Okay, so it will going to search for one or more character, and here this one. Okay, the space after space, or say you can have say from, whatever you want you can add it here. Okay, say it should be space or anything. Okay, here it indicates 0 or more characters, you can change accordingly. Okay, so and this will be searched in this line, but remember we are interested to extract only this. Whatever the string means pattern or expression we are interested to extract, that should be enclosed within parentheses, so that it will search for whole expression but extract only this much. Okay, so and if it is extracted, so we'll check whether the length is greater than 0. If the length is greater than 0, it will print. And remember, so when we print a num, so don't think that it will be an integer, it will be still in a string format. Okay, if at all you want to use that as a number, say later you should convert that to a integer, right? So as per the program statement, this much is enough. So we'll continue. So this is the program, so which we have discussed. The next program is write a Python program to accept n numbers from user, find sum of all even numbers and product of all odd numbers in entered list. This is also a simple program. So we are supposed to write a Python program to accept n numbers from the user. Means initially we'll ask the user to enter the value of n, later we'll ask the user to enter n numbers, and there afterwards what we do, we'll read and store in a list, and afterwards we'll read a number by number. If we'll check for whether the number is even. If the number is even, we'll add it to a, say we'll take two variable, one is even sum and another one is odd product. So if the number is even, we'll add initially we'll initialize even sum to 0 and we'll initialize odd product to 1. And so if the number is even, we'll add that to a even sum, and if the number is odd, we'll multiply that to a odd sum. Because there is a multiplication of odd numbers, whenever it is multiplication, repetitive multiplication is there, the product should be initialized to 1. Whenever there is a repetitive summation will be there, the sum should be initialized to 0. Sorry, I have not displayed this. Okay, here. So the Python program, say just see here. So this is the program. The next program that we will discuss is program 4. Write a Python program to accept n numbers from user, find sum of all even numbers and product of all odd numbers in entered list. A very simple program has to be written, where we'll ask the user to enter the value of n. Later we'll tell the user to enter n numbers, and after n, as the user go on enters, we'll read the numbers and add it to a list. Once all the n numbers are read, So what we do, say we are going to read a number by number. We'll check, say here, before that we'll take two variables, one as odd sum and another one as even sum and another as odd product. So even sum will be initialized to 0 and odd product will be initialized to 1, because whenever repetitive addition will be there, the sum will be initialized to 0, and whenever repetitive multiplication will be there, the product will be initialized to 1. So we are going to take those two variables and we'll check for in a list for every number. We'll check whether it is a even. If it is even, we'll add that to a, say, even sum, and if it is odd, we'll multiply that to a odd product. This will be continued for all the numbers in that list. Once it is over, we'll print the even sum and odd product. So let us implement this program. So now this is because of fourth program. I will say take the name as prog4. It's a Python program to read n integers and find even sum and odd product. In short, I have written. Okay, this is again a simple program, because even sum and odd product, very simple. Say it's just what is to be done is we should read the numbers. So anyhow, say as I have explained the steps, we'll follow that. First and foremost, I'll ask the user to enter the value of n, and because we use that num n, I'll convert that to integer. Input, enter the value of n. Even if you want, in bracket you can write it as number of integers. Means n, what it indicates, number of integers, right? Okay, so later, so I'm going to take a list as a num list, and say empty list will be created whose name is num list. Then I'll tell the user to enter %d numbers, or you can write it as integers. Then here this is %n. Okay, and afterwards here I'm going to initialize, I'm going to take two variables. One is even sum, even underscore sum, and initialize that to 0, and another one is odd underscore product and initialize that to 1. I have told why it is 0 and why it is 1. Okay, now for every num in range of 0 to n, what we do, say first we'll read the number. Num is equal to, the number read should be converted to integer. Input, right? So we'll append that to a num list dot append. Okay, say the num will be appended to that. Okay, so this particular for loop, say it will going to read n number of integers and it will create a list whose name is num list. And now I'm going to take one more for loop for I in range. See, even here you have written 0 to n. No, by default if you even write just say range of n, it's the meaning is 0 to n only. By default it will take from 0 to n, means n minus 1. Okay, because the second integer, second index it doesn't consider. Okay, the second range, say first range to less than 1 less than the second range. If n is 5, 0 to 4. So even by default this is also the same thing. Okay, what we do, so I'll just check for the first number. Okay, if num list of I, initially I will be, say let us consider 0 here. If num list of I mod 2 say if num list of I, say num list of I is this, the I is initially 0, say it will be the first number mod 0. If this particular means division is, it is a modulus operator, it will check for the remainder. If that remainder is 0, then meaning is it is a even number, so it should be added to even sum. Even sum is equal to even sum plus num list of I, that can be written as even sum is equal to even underscore sum plus of, say here num list of I, num list of I. Okay, so means if it is a even number, whereas if it is a odd number, say for example, say else, write it as else, and here odd product, say here, so star equal, I can write a shorthand, even this can be written as a plus equal to, so star equal to num list of I. Say both the method I have shown. So this I have used a shorthand method. If it is, it's something like this, A plus equal to B, if I write that, which is nothing but A is equal to A plus B. So we have discussed all such things in previous videos. Okay, so this has to be, say, continued for all the numbers in the list. Okay, so once it's over, just print it, print the sum of even numbers in the list is equal to, so I can write it as a even underscore sum, and one more is print product of odd numbers in the list is equal to, this is odd product. Right, so let us execute this. Python 3. Okay, here there is a problem. So line number 15. This is even underscore enter the value of n. Let us consider 6. Oh, one more problem. Name range. Okay, spelling mistake once again. Line number 7. Ng. It's, you need to understand that color. Even I forgot to see properly. Okay, say 6. Enter 6 integers. 3, 6, 8, 1, 5, then 2. One more problem. What is the problem? Off product. Sorry. This is actually odd product. Six, 4, 1, 3, 2, 7, then 4. Okay, sum of even numbers 4, 2, then 4 means 10, and product will be 7 3s are 21, 21 1s are 21. Yes, so this is a very simple program. So where we have read a value of n, then we ask the user to enter n integers, and so we used one list. Initially we created an empty list, and later as the user go on enters the numbers, we appended those numbers to a list. And later, say for all the numbers in a list, what we have done is we have checked a number whether it is even. If it is even, we added that to even sum, otherwise we multiplied that to odd product. Later we printed even and odd sum. Hope this is clear to all of you. This is the program that we have discussed so far. Okay, so very simple program is there. So try to execute all the programs on your own. So after this session, and next program is program number 5. Write a Python program to accept USN and marks obtained. Find maximum, minimum and students USN who have scored in the range 100 to 85, 85 to 75, 75 to 60 and below 60 marks separately. Say means here say we'll read, the program is to read a USN number and marks, because the marks he has not told anything about how many subjects and anything like that. We'll say consider one subject and marks is maximum 100. Okay, so we'll consider maximum marks 100. Say in that we'll read, say for example if there are n users, we'll read for n users. Okay, so once the entry of USN and marks of students is over, we'll find the maximum marks in that list, means whatever the number of students marks has been entered. So in that what is the maximum marks, what is the minimum marks, and later say the USN list of USNs who are in the range of 100 to 85, 85 to 75, 75 to 60 and below 60. But remember here say one confusion will be there, 100 to 85 and 85 to 75. Where to consider this 85, that will be a problem. Say you can assume anything because he has not given any say proper thing in that. What we do here, 100 to 85 means 100 will be included and 85 will exclude here, and here 85 will be included and 75 will exclude here. Here will include 85 and 70 because it's given as a below 60. Will include both here, 75 and 60. Okay, let's write a program for this. So this is a program number 5. Right, so I don't write the title, just I'll make it very simple. Python program to find, to list students as per marks. In just a very simple I have written, you can write in detail. Okay, so now so how we do this, remember we can ask the user to enter number of students and later we can ask the user to enter the list of those many students. Okay, otherwise what we can do is we will go on ask the user to enter the number, means USN number and marks, and we'll tell if at all he wants to stop, enter like exit, enter or done, something like that, or finish. Okay, so that say if the user will enters like say for example done, so we'll stop reading. And here because we are going to read two things, means one is USN and another one is marks. So we are going to use a tuple here. Okay, so we'll use a list of tuple basically. So what I do, I'm going to consider one list, say I call it as a say marks list. Marks list say is equal to create a empty list. Okay, now say while true, because I should read marks of a USN number and marks of a student. So what I do is I'll write here USN is equal to first input, I'll ask the user. Okay, say enter the student USN or the enter the USN of student. Enter the student USN. Enter the USN of a student. Of a student. Okay, here in bracket I'll write enter, say enter done, say to stop or finish, whatever. Okay, here itself I'll check if USN, entered USN is equal to done, then obviously reading is over, I'll break from this loop. Otherwise, if he has entered a USN, then marks, I'll take something like marks is equal to that marks, because it will be integer, I'll convert to an integer, say input. I'll tell the user to enter the marks of students, marks of student, say maximum, here maximum 100. Okay, so means the user should enter the marks of the this student only, whose USN is there above, so that student marks only, and maximum marks will be 100. Okay, so after reading the marks, now so I have USN and marks both, I'll append. So how do I append? So I use a method called append from a list, marks underscore lst list dot append. What I should append is, remember, I am going to use a tuple here. If I directly say want, say the tuple will be something like this, like say marks, first one is marks, I'll use first as marks and the second as USN. Now this is a tuple, this tuple will be appended, means basically marks underscore list is a list of tuples. Okay, say it will be appended. This will be continued for all how many USNs he'll enter, say user, say for that it will be continued. Okay, so if at all user wants to stop, he or she should enter done. Okay, so now what I do, I'm going to find a maximum marks and minimum marks. So very simple, I'll print the maximum marks directly because it's a list. Here say maximum marks is equal to, say because there is a function called max which can be used on list, I'll use that function marks underscore lst. So maximum marks is marks underscore lst. So this is a maximum marks. Similarly, say I can write a minimum marks. Okay, say here, say minimum marks is equal to, say here this is min, but remember when you use this method, say here there should be comma. Okay, we found maximum and minimum marks. Now here there are so many methods to find a list of number students whose marks are between 100 to 85, then 85 to 75, then 75 to 60 and below 60. So what I do is, I'm going to write a program, so where inside the for loop I'll check for the say range. If the range is between that, so I'll print it. Okay, so otherwise I'll print it and next I'll go to the next range. So means here the first and foremost is for, I'll check this for initially for students USN between 100 to 85. For this I'll write, let me use for loop, for key for a key means because we have created a tuple here, say list of tuple, I'll use for key in marks. For key in marks or for I in marks, you can write it marks underscore LST, right? Say what I do, if that key, whatever we read, if that key is greater than 85 and if that key is less than or equal to 100, then I'm going to print it. Print key. Print say what we are supposed to print is, here we are supposed to print the value, not the key. So we are supposed to print the value. Okay. So means here because it's a tuple, so I'll use both for key comma val. The first, say here USN will be, say look at this marks will be, marks I have taken it as a key and USN I have taken it as a val, because I want to say go with the USN. Okay, means marks, as per the marks I'll arrange it, means divide it. So if the key is greater than, means marks is greater than 85 and say less than or equal to 100, then print it. Means here, so I'll print the val. Let us only this much I'll execute and see whether we'll get the output. Okay, look at this Python 3. Oh, this has not been closed. Here look at this, it has not been closed. That's the problem. Okay, now USN I'll write it as a say 2 PL 09 EC 001 is a USN. Enter the marks of a student. Okay, say I'll write it as say for example 76. So then say same this USN only I'll copy, and next USN number is this and some other marks, and next USN number is this and say some other marks, and next USN number is this and yes some other marks. Here say 2 are in the range and 2 are not in the range, so I'll write done here. Okay, look at this, maximum marks 89, right? Minimum marks 45, right? And these are the list. Say 02 and 03 have taken in a range of 85 to 100, right? So the same procedure we can continue now. Okay, say here before that I can just print statement, print students list of students or whatever you write, list of students scored between 100 to 85 or 85 to 100, whatever. Okay, so right, this is a list. Now this I'm going to copy and I'll repeat. Now this is another, this is another, and this is the last one. And here this second one is list between 85 to 75. This is 85 to 75. For that purpose it should be less than or equal to 85, whereas should be greater than 75. Okay, and this is 75 to 60, 75 to say 60, but I want to include both ranges here. Should be greater than or equal to 60 and less than or equal to 75, both have added, and this is student score below 60, scored below 60, and this here it's simple, if it is less than 60 then only you consider. Okay, so print that. Let's see now. Say some marks 67, yes, second roll number, second USN, then say 85, then third USN, let us consider say 40, then fourth USN 93, then next fifth one, so 78, then sixth one 89, then seventh one 16.8, then eighth one say it is 93 or 99. Okay, so let me stop. Done. Look at this, maximum marks 99, minimum marks 40. Okay, list of students scored between 100 to 85, say 3 students are there, 4 6 8, you can see 4, right, then 6, right, then 8, only they have scored between 85 to means less than 85, more than 85 and less than or equal to 100. Then similarly say here 2 persons and here 2 and here only say 60, below 60 how many are there, only 1, that is that too 40 only. Okay, 40 marks, that is below 60, only 1 is there. So this is a very simple program, I wrote it very simple, but it's the execution time it will take will be very much higher, because for every loop we are I'm checking here, say for loop, say look at this for loop, anyway say this we cannot avoid this, this is a while loop for reading purpose, but here I have these many times I have used a for loop, which even can be easily done only using one for loop. Instead of using one, say 1 2 3 4 for loops, say we can do the same only using one for loop. Instead of using 4 for loops, we can use 4 lists, and so using a conditional chained conditional we can implement this. So that also I will show you. So just what I do, I am going to copy this program prog5 as prog5 underscore 1.py, means I'll just little bit modify it. Okay, so let me open this program. Up to this no problem, but here before I proceed I'm going to create some list, means instead of using 4 for loops, my intention is to use only one for loop, because say again and again it's the same thing. Here it will check for only 85 to 100, but remain everything it will check for all the say values in this list. Okay, that can be reduced using only one for loop. So I will take one list, select list 1 is equal to say some list, then list 2 is list, okay, then list 3, empty list I'm create 4 empty lists I'm creating, this is list 4, list 4 empty lists have created. Okay, list 1, list 2 and list 3. Now what I do here for key, say this, let me just cut this and paste at the end. Even I am going to cut all these print statements and paste at the end, and one more is this, right. Say okay, I don't require these many for loops, I require only one for loop. Okay, So now here let me say right here, say for key val in marks list. So this, if the key is greater than 85 and less than or equal to 100, say what I do, say before that let me just okay, say what I do, I need to just delete only these for loops. Okay, remaining I'll use. Okay, if this is the range, now instead of printing here, what I'll do, I'll add it. Okay, lst1. So this I use lst, I'll use for a list between 100 and say 85, and this I'll use for means marks between 100 and not 110, so 185, and this I'll use for marks between say 85 and 75, and this I'll use for marks between 75 and 60, and this for less than 60. Okay, so here this dot append. So what I do, what I append, I'll append only the val. Okay, now here I'll use else if the range is this, then okay, so let me use list2 here, and now if the range is this, let me use list3, and if the range, if it is less than this, and let me use list4. Means as per the range I'm going to add particular USN in a particular list. If the marks is between 100 and 85, I'm adding that USN to list 1. If the marks is between 75 and 85, I'm adding that USN to list 2, so on. Okay, say by the end of this for loop, 4 lists will be created with USN, and here I'm going to print directly. I'll print the list, just here print lst1, okay, here print lst2, and here print lst3, and here lst4. So this list 4, this is list 3, and this is list 2, and last one is list 1. Okay, so let me execute this program using Python 3 interpreter. First USN, let me write 100, and this is second one. You can enter any USNs. This is third, fourth, then fifth, sixth, then 7. So let me stop. Okay, list dot append val list as, okay, sorry, the spelling mistake, line number 21 is that mistake will be there everywhere. Here it is append. Append. So once again I need to give the input. 98, 67. Okay, so here I have given 100, no, that will be taken, so that will be overridden. Okay, no problem, I will give once again for USA number 3. Just a minute, let me write it. Initially first one 100, then second one 98, then third one 67, then fourth one 59, and fifth one 83, then sixth one 89, seventh one 53, eighth one 84. Let me write done. Here you can see this is maximum marks, this is minimum marks, and these are the list of students whose USN is between, means whose marks is list of USNs whose marks is between this. Here between 85 to 75, here between 75 to 60, so on. Okay, so this is here, say instead of using for loops, 4 for loops, we used just 4 list, and using a 1 for loop we implemented the program. There can be any other methods you can implement, say even using some other methods. Okay, and in this program you can check for whether the entered number is USN or not, means sorry, the entered marks is in a particular range or not. Everything can be even tested, say whether it is integer or not. So for that purpose you can add a code, say, but with this we'll proceed further to next program, and the next program is, so this is a program so that I have discussed, and next program is implement a Python program to find all lines having @ sign between characters in a read text file. So means this is something like that of a email only. Okay, so implement a Python program to find for all lines having @ sign between characters. This is that of say the program which we have discussed earlier, that is email, extracting, reading a file and extracting email addresses from it. Okay, the same thing is there here. Okay, because of that I don't execute it. Look at this, import re, open, see, open the file. Okay, and read every line. Okay, later say we are going to use, say re method, means regular expression method called find all. So what we do, say it should contain characters. So I am using, say, because he has told even characters, you need not have to include these brackets. Just say non, he has even not told non space anything, but that can be, if say you can just, you write it as plus dot plus at, and later dot plus. That is even more than enough for this, because find for lines having @ sign between characters. He has not told a non space or any other thing. Okay, so means what you can do is you can replace this everything. What you can write here expression is, say you can write a expression something like this, dot plus, later at, and dot plus. That's enough, so that it will going to search for a, say, line that will be having a at between the characters. So that you do it on your own. So if any doubts you can ask me. Okay, and with this we'll move on to the one more program. The program here, write a Python program to program that accepts a sentence and build dictionary with letters, digits, uppercase, lowercase as key values, and their counts in the sentences as values. Okay, so these will be the key values and keys, and their counts will be the values. For example, if the sentence is VTU at 123.elearning, then we should get something like this. Dictionary D is equal to letters at 12 letters means 1 2 3, here 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Yes, 12 letters, digits 3 because 1 2 3 are there, uppercase only 4, VTU and L, right, lowercase remaining 8. Okay, this is the program we are supposed to write. Okay, so let us write this program. So I'll give the program name as program 7, right, program 7. In this program, what we'll do here is, initially we should read a sentence, means user has to enter a sentence. You write the program statement. Just I'll make it simple. Python program to build dictionary. Okay, so because I should read a sentence, I'm going to write it as for the user input, enter a sentence. Once the user enters sentence, I'll read it and store in a variable sentence. And let me create a dictionary whose name I will take it as a dictionary is equal to, so I'll create a dictionary with letters, means keys as letters, this is a key, and its initial value I'll make it 0, means the count will be 0, then comma, then digits I use digits and its initial count will be 0, comma, then uppercase. Okay, so this, the next key is uppercase whose count is 0, and then lowercase, so whose count will be 0. Okay, this is a dictionary. So letters, digits, uppercase and lowercase, right. Have created dictionary with keys and initialized those keys to a, means counts to a 0. Now here I am going to write a logic to build a dictionary. For every character in sentence, that has been read from the user, what I do, if char dot, say if I want to check for a letter. Okay, if that letter means there is a method called is alpha, if that character is a alphabet, then it should be, so what we should do is dictionary of, look at this letter, dictionary of letters, I'll use a shorthand, plus is equal to 1, I'll increment, means if it is a alphabet, means nothing but a letter, so I'm going to increment the count. And if it is a letter, here itself I'll decide, say inside this I'm going to use a nested condition. I'll just check, obviously if it's a letter then only it will come inside, and here I'll check, it will increment the letter, and later I'll check if that letter means is lower. If it is lower, then what I do, I'll increment the count of dictionary of lower case plus equal to 1. Say else, if it is not lowercase, obviously it will be uppercase. Else what I do, dictionary of upper case, say this key should be, it's a string, is plus equal to 1. Okay, say here, say I have checked for a letter, say letter I'll check, say if it is not a letter I'll use elif, okay, say char dot is digit, if it is digit, if it is digit, then what I do, so I am going to increment the count of denary of digits, plus equal to 1, say letters digits, okay, and uppercase and lowercase will be checked here itself. So later I am going to print the dictionary. So simple. So look at this, if it's a letter, means if it's a letter can be checked using a method called alphabet, is alpha, okay. If it's alphabet, means if it's a letter, increment it and later check. See, if it is letter, then only it will come inside this. It is a example for nested conditional, okay. Say this if and elif, this is example for say chained conditional, but this is example for nested. It's a say combination mixed. You can give this example for a program that uses a chained and a nested conditional both, okay. Say if it is a letter, increment its count and check whether it is uppercase or lowercase. If it is lowercase, increment lowercase count, otherwise increment uppercase letter. If it's not a letter, then check whether it is a digit. If it is a digit, then increments its count, okay. So let us execute this. Welcome to TKP 1 2 3 4 5. Look at this, lowercase 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Digits 5, yes, and total letters say 8, and this uppercase 5, and 8 plus 5 13, right? A simple program, okay. Hope this is clear to all of you. So if it's not clear, you can always ask me. So this is the program we have written. So if it's alphabet, increment the letter count and check whether it is lowercase or uppercase. If it is lowercase, increment the count of lowercase letter, and if it is else, increment the uppercase count, and if it's not alphabet, check whether it is a digit. If it's a digit, then increment its count, okay. So with this we'll discuss one more program. You do one thing, this program you take it as a homework. What this program is, write a program, means a Python program, to check the validity of a password read by a user, means our user has to enter a password. Say what we are supposed to do is, say you are supposed to check the following criteria to check whether the password is valid or not. Whatever the user will enter as a password, it should contain one lowercase letter, at least one lowercase letter, at least one digit, at least one uppercase letter, and at least one special character, okay, from this dollar, hash, at and exclamation. Only from this it should contain a special character, not any other special character, and 6 characters, okay. Means a 6 character, 1 digit and 1 special character. Totally it should contain a minimum 8 characters should be there. So your program should accept a password and check the validity using the above criteria. Print valid or invalid as the case may be. Means if the password is valid, you print it as a valid, and if it is not valid, you print it as invalid. So take this as a homework and do it, okay. So and you can say ask if any doubts are there, okay. So with this I'll stop today. I'll stop today's session. If at all you want me to discuss some more programs, you can ask me, okay. So thank you.